Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'm back here with another movie review. And this movie is brought to me by BT Plus, and it's called Cruel Encounter. So it stars from Sisters Anthony Dalton. So he plays Cameron Reed. He has a sister named Destiny Reed. He has a stepmother named Corinne Reed. His dad is Dexter Reed. And let's just say this movie was crazy but good at the end. Kind of sad but good at the end. So let's just get into it. So it starts off, they all work at their father Dexter's company, Granite Slate Holding. So they work there. So mind you, Destiny, she's out partying and celebrating her birthday, and her brother Cameron walks into the club of one of their security to tell her the news, and come to find out their father had passed in a plane accident. So they get down to the office the next day with their stepmother Corinne, and I think Dexter's go-to guy Blake. They're sitting in the office, and basically on the news they're telling them what happened, that the plane suffered a malfunction and that the police are investigating what happened. And it comes to find out that the engine was tampered with. It wasn't just like a fluke accident and he died or whatever. So they're doing an investigation. Mind you, there's a detective named Howard. He's basically trying to piece together everything that's happened. He's getting statements from everybody, and they feel as if like somebody in the family has hurt him, and they figuring out who really did it. So now Corinne is made head CEO. Blake tells the Cameron and Destiny about his will and testament, and basically he put everything to go to Corinne. But both Cameron and Destiny feel like that's not how their dad got down. Like, he got down some ways, but certain things that he would never let stand for. So now them two is in cahoots with each other, trying to find a way to get her out the company. They also want to get back in contact with Lauren, which is supposed to be Corinne's daughter, and they devise a plan to get Lauren to fall in love with Cam so that they can get her shares, so that they can get the majority and try to get Corinne out. But while doing so, Corinne, she ends up cutting off their company cards, both of them, and basically got rid of Destiny's penthouse apartment. So now she has to move in with her brother Cameron, which is not what she wanted to do, but she ends up doing it. So she eventually takes over his room, or the guest room, or whatever, and they're just still trying to figure out the plan. So as the days and months go on, the detective, days and weeks go on, the detective is slowly talking to all of them. The Nate, which is the security, to watch over them to make sure they're okay, he has a thing for Destiny, and at one point they was at the club, and he was like, it's my job to keep my eyes on you. And she was like, yeah, I bet, you would love to do some things. So she ends up getting up to leave. And then she was like, you coming? So they end up going back to Cameron's place, and, they had a little rendezvous or whatnot. So now it's like the next day or whatever, they speak to each other in the office, and they go on about their day. So now it's like a couple of weeks done passed, and Corinne is still trying to find ways to get the company from underneath them. Destiny devises a plan to that could bring in some more money. Lauren and Cameron get back cool with each other, working on this project with the help of Corinne. She basically stole Destiny's idea to make it hers. And then, because at first she showed that Destiny came to her with a peace offering, and she brought her this pen, but come to find out the pen was a recorder. So Corinne ended up throwing the plans in the garbage, and I guess a few weeks down the line, Corinne used Destiny's plans, and Destiny was like, Corinne came with this. She was like, yeah. And she left out the office and went to speak to her. So Lauren and Cameron are, working on this project or whatever, stuff like that. Come to find out, Corinne was sleeping with Cameron, sleeping with Blake, sleeping with Simone, and Dexter all at the same time. So basically, she was just getting around. And come to find out, Destiny, she ended up getting pregnant by Blake. And Blake found out, so he went to Cameron's house and he tried to confront her about the situation. And he was like, you're not having this baby. She was like, it's not your choice. I'm going to have this baby regardless. So she just tries to go upstairs and he follows her up the stairs. Next, they have a tussle. She ends up falling down the stairs and she gets to, and Blake leaves. Come to find out, Lauren found her because she was going to Cameron's house to drop off some reports. And she ended up taking him to the hospital. So when Cameron and Corinne get to the hospital, Corinne goes into the her room. It's like, Destiny, wake up. She was like, listen, I know about this baby, and you're not having this baby. And then come to find out, Destiny had this mark on her face. She ends up losing her baby. So now, Destiny has this. She's out to get Corinne because you made her lose her baby. And you trying to take my company from me? Nah, it's about to go down. Cameron doesn't know about the baby, and he didn't even get a chance to know about the baby. So the detective is still talking to them about things and stuff like that. Basically, Cameron, he was trying to, go with Corinne too to find out some dirt on Destiny, but he ended up finding out that he likes Lauren better. He's in love with Lauren. So they end up having a rendezvous at his house. Meanwhile, Nate and Destiny are getting it in together. And he basically helps her get information on Corinne. He gives her access to her computer because she still has the key to his office. Corinne didn't know that. So meanwhile, she breaks into the computer. She finds the little rendezvous tape of Cameron and Lauren. So at the presentation, project presentation that they're supposed to do, she ends up putting the video up there on the screen so that they can see when it comes time to present with the help of Nate. And that just set things on fire because at this time, Cameron was going to propose to Lauren. That got cut short. Eventually, they did get married. And then she found out that Lauren found out it was a scam because with the help of Destiny saying what she's saying in the beginning to make her fall in love with him, she ends up slapping him and then she goes away to Paris. Come to find out, Corinne was trying to sell the company from underneath them. She was going to hold another meeting for that. At this time, Corinne done fired Destiny and had her escorted out the building. She was sleeping with Simone. So her and Simone was behind the killing of her other husband back in London. So basically, Simone and Corinne was just doing this forever. They got Blake, they got Dexter, and they got Richard, was her previous husband. And they found that out all through the Detective Howard. So, come to find out, Detective Howard was working with their father, Dexter, who was not dead. He showed up at the meeting like, yeah, I'm still alive. So they all hugged, Dexter, Destiny, and Cam. They all hugged each other. Corinne got arrested. Blake got fired. So, moving this right along, Dexter was behind the investigation of what Corinne was doing. He found out what she was doing, and Destiny as well, and found out that the plane mechanics manuals was on her computer. So that sent her way right then and there. Come to find out, Blake was Cameron's biological father. The mom had an affair. So at that same time, Dexter apologized to both his kids for how he raised them, and how he treated them. He was both proud of all the work they was doing so far since his passing and whatnot, and he was really proud of them. So after that, I think Destiny is at home and Cameron's at home. Come to find out, some guy comes into the house trying to attack her. She calls 911 saying that somebody's in the house trying to kill her. And hold on, sorry about that. Yeah, so she's at home and somebody's trying to come in the house to attack her. So she ended up calling 911 and tells them to hurry, and that somebody's trying to kill her. Come to find out, it was Blake with a knife. He was like, yeah, this is for Corinne. And Cameron comes in from the behind and tries to fight him off for Destiny. Blake and Cameron get into it. Destiny goes into the drawer, pulls out a gun. Blake ends up stabbing Cameron. Destiny ends up shooting Blake, but she said, this is for both of your children. Shot him twice, and he fell out to the ground. Next to Destiny goes over to Cameron's side and hugs him and whatever, trying to listen. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And he was like, listen, I want you to tell Lauren that I love her. And she was like, no, you tell her. Next, he died. Come to find out, Destiny tried to right her wrong. So she ended up going to Paris to talk to Lauren. Nate goes with her because that's her boo now. And he also works with her on the company. She goes to tell Lauren that, I'm sorry, I just had to right my wrongs. And Lauren tried to tell her, like, listen, I couldn't come to the funeral. But then she also tells her that she was pregnant. That's the reason why she couldn't come. And that she shows her picture of the baby. And she was like, his name is Christian Cameron. And Destiny was like, oh, he has to meet his family. She also wanted Lauren to help her run the company. She was like, okay, that's cool. And I also want y'all to meet his family. So at this time, Lauren couldn't really tell Destiny and Dexter what was really going on. So, yeah, it was crazy. Like, to see that Corinne was corrupt and behind all this devious plans, it was mind-boggling. Oh, and I forgot to tell y'all, Lauren is not even Corinne's daughter. That's her aunt. That's her aunt, which is her niece. So her mother is Corinne's sister. So Corinne was out doing this from the get-go. She had an incident like this back in Europe, I think around the time Lauren was little, because I guess Richard was molesting her. And then she really didn't say nothing about it. She basically just took it on. Oh, she did. She ended up killing him. And then she made it seem as if Lauren killed him. So she basically framed her niece. Yeah, with the help of Simone. I wondered if Simone got locked up too. And basically, Corinne switched on Simone, snitched on her. So basically, it's let Simone take the fall for her actions. But she's away, so hopefully Dexter can get back his life. I mean, the loss of his son, but he do got a grandson now and his daughter. So they can get things back in order and they can make the right money that they're supposed to make, because at that time, he was losing money. And I think Corinne was just probably taking it and putting it into her own pocket, saying that they was losing it. Because at one point of the party, Blake showed Corinne what was happening to the company. So they were falsifying fake stories for years, basically on Destiny's behalf, saying that she was a horrible person, she was doing drugs and stuff like that. So everybody basically used that as her downfall. But at the end, she came out on top because she's now the owner of the company, and she got a beautiful nephew in the picture and a beautiful man. So yeah, this movie was crazy. It was definitely crazy, but good at the same time. So you can check it out on BET Plus. But if you don't got BET Plus, I guess you could wait a couple of months until they put it on BET and watch it. I don't know. The choice is yours. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Hopefully it wasn't too all over the place. I do have a problem with that. Like, see, in my brain, I can play it out perfectly. But then when it comes to speaking it to you guys, I kind of like get it a little bit twisted. But then I get it back on track, if that makes sense. But yeah, anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed this recap and y'all enjoyed this movie review. And then until next time, bye.